Chapter 12. We'll always have Cloudesdale. I feel like a murderer on trial, Lightning thought. He stood stolidly before an audience consisting of 4 Pegasi. 3 veterans, Spitfire, Zorn, and Fleetfoot, glared from their lofty perch in disgust at the sign below. Next to them stood Slips, whose nose was wrapped clumsily in white-lined bandages. Although he was quite safe up there with the others, he still looked uneasily at the steel-colored flyer. Lightning looked strong and calm as ever, masking the guilt he had underneath. He was surprised that the veterans couldn't hear his heart drumming in a silent room. In his mouth he clenched a blue flight uniform and goggles, a uniform he should have been wearing. When he said the esteemed symbol hung low from his mouth, as though they were nothing but rags. From above, Spitfire called out, "Place your uniform here, Flash." Lightning had no choice but to obediently fly up to the balcony and place the suit at the feet of his former mentors. As he touched down, he caught a glimpse of Flips stepping back from the group, seemingly trying to avoid any contact with the electric stallion. A small smile played on Lightning's lips, because at least he could take comfort in Slip's fear. But no amount of humor could brace Lightning for the impact of the vet's glares. In their eyes he could see anger, disgust, horror, even disappointment. Unable to bear it, the stallion broke eye contact with him, practically signifying his guilt. Spitfire said firmly, "Unless you get your act together, you aren't getting an inch off the ground with us. Not now. Not ever." Then she swept up the crumpled flight suit in her teeth and threw it back in the room behind them. The Storm piped in, saying, "It's a shame, Starkey. We really thought there were big things in store for you. I guess we were wrong." With those parting words, the group trotted away along with Slips, while Lightning was sitting outside into the rain. His mane hung over his face, dripping. The unmerciful storm blew around him, clouding his body with its cold precipitation. It was as though nature itself was adding itself insult to injury. But instead of seeking shelter, Lightning could only just stand there, wondering what he had done to deserve this. 2 days later, and the stallion found himself being kicked out once again. Clouds still crowded the sky. The rain had slowly been decreasing to a drizzle. Lightning has been filled dead for 5 days now, more than enough time to get to know the flourishing city. And for the Pegasus case, the poor part of town. Of all the places Lightning could have ended up, he found himself at a small tavern next to the town's dump. And now he was being forced out of the tiny abode by an angry owner wielding a shotgun to the back of his head. Despite the intimidating weapon and sense of impending doom, Lightning still had to argue his case. "Hey man, the guy came in with the freaking pool cue. What was I supposed to do? Stand there while he wailed at me?" "I just stupid drunk," the owner said, prodding Flash's flank with the end of the gun. Still facing forward, Lightning raised his hoof in anger, shouting, "Do I look drunk, you idiot? Are my eyes bloodshot? Am I slurring my words? You're probably more drunk than me, amigo. Didn't touch a drop of the stuff. Half of which is legal, by the way." What he said was true. Not the illegal liquor, which was actually pretty accurate, but the part about being sober. Lightning decided against the liquor, which surprised even him considering the circumstances. He had just come to the tavern to vent, which actually caused a problem in the first place. Apparently the ponies of Philadelphia weren't as understanding as the citizens of Ponyville. Mostly because Ponyville ponies don't try to whack you with a pole cue when you annoy them. The 2 stallions made their way outside on the porch of the saloon. With a rough prod, the bar owner sent a cursing Lightning sprawling into the mud. From his position on the ground, Flash said wrathfully, "It's because I'm a Venezuelan, huh? This is a hate crime, amigo. You haven't seen the last of me." But the threat fell on deaf ears, and the owner abruptly slammed the door, leaving the electric stallion in the drizzle. Disheartened, he looked up at the wooden sign above the doorway. It had once said Pappy Crabapple's Bar, but due to some creative maneuvering from some hooligans, the sign now said Crab Bay Bar. "I could have said it better myself," Lightning thought as he crouched in next to the rundown beauty. It certainly looked like Pappy's had seen better days. Windows were cracked, boards seemed to be peeling off the structure, bugs were skittering across the floor, and rain seeped into the cracked roof. The place was now only home to vermin and homeless ponies. And unfortunately for Lightning, that was exactly what he was. Homeless and hopeless. Out of a nearby trash can scurried a black rat. The animal crawled up to the crouching pony, expecting him with his dark eyes. "Que pasa, little one?" The stalwart stallion asked his tiny companion. He was too preoccupied to hit the rat beginning to bare his teeth on his. Suddenly, the creature leaped toward the pony's face with surprising speed. Luckily, thanks to all the conditioning he had prior, Lightning managed to swipe away the main attacker before it could do any damage. "Bucket Celestia, stupid animals," he uttered, kicking the scrambling rat away. Thinking he had won, the electric Pegasus began to settle back down against the tavern. But then he caught a glimpse of dozens of little black heads peeking out the garbage can. The dark eyes glaring at the stung with animalistic rage. Being completely terrified of the creatures, and any type of vermin in general, Lion reluctantly stood up and moved away from the saloon toward the garbage dump. This was his life for the past 2 days, fighting over territory with a bunch of lowly vermin and hobos. That is second one of the top 10 life goals for the flyer. But then again, after everything he's been through, the expectations weren't all that high either. Back to square one, Flash thought as he straddled the chain link fence of the dump. He was nothing but another faceless pony, cursed to wander the world and run from his past. He was lost yet again, traveling through cities with no home and no cause. And with Rainbow Dash out of the picture, he had no family either. All Lightning had was himself. It was a shame that the only thing he had left happened to be the one thing he hated the most. Why can't I get out of this hole? I'm a bucking rogue, and that's all I'll ever be. These thoughts fueled the normally calm Pegasus' frustration. He began to quicken his pace, going back and forth between the heaps of trash and the rundown bar. Not even the cold drizzle would break him out of his trance. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of pacing, Lightning kicked the chain fencing before collapsing it into a sad heap next to it. He looked up at the sky, hoping that just a sniff of sunlight would come and wash away his troubles. Instead, he felt the cold, unfeeling drops of drizzle on his muzzle, which seemed to say, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen." And indeed, only 2 days ago the stallion was a star. And 3 days before that, he had a cousin who cared about him and his friends he could trust. But during the argument with Dash, he realized that none of those things had solved his problems. He was still an exile, an outcast, and those things only covered up the injury. Nothing could make things completely right. Nothing could ever completely heal his scars. The fight with Rainbow didn't open a new wound. It only caused an old one to resurface. The futility of it all angered Lightning. If there was one thing that bothered him, it was when things seemed to fall out of place. It was only his nature to try and put things right, to make everything better. But sometimes there are some things that can never be put exactly right, or straight. And unfortunately for Lightning, he knew this was one of those things. He couldn't help but remember what Josh had said. He could just walked away. Sitting there in the mud, he supposed he couldn't argue anymore. There was no point to blame anymore. Not the Phoenix Waylands, not Rainbow Dash, not the Wonderbolts, only himself. He was his own worst enemy. Love thy enemy? What's that? He thought sadly. From inside the tavern, he heard the voice of another homeless pony singing. Through the gritty voice and depressing tone, he could make out a tune he was familiar with, for his abuelo used to sing when he played his guitar. When he was a colt, he only listened to the tune. He didn't understand the lyrics, but now the message was clear. Oh, how Flash just wished for peace. Perhaps if he could just die, then finally he could have the tranquility he was searching for. Nothing was stopping him. His sole purpose after exile was to protect Rainbow Dash. But now that she was gone and the water bolts had fallen through, he was nothing. He could just die right then and there and no one would care. If only it were so easy. The science eyes began to skim the mountains of trash, as though the piece he was looking for was to be found in there. He didn't know what compelled himself to stare at the heaps of junk. But something did happen to catch his eye. Something sparkled from the bottom of one of the trash heaps. The object somehow managed to radiate light through the dirt and rain, seemingly trying to call the stallion over. Curious, Lightning couldn't help but investigate the strange object. Gliding off the wooden fence, nicking his leg in the process, Lightning proceeded closer and closer to the object. Dragging it out from underneath the box of scrap metal, the stallion let a small gasp. It was a bandana. Faded yellow lightning bolts were stitched on both sides. Tiny shining jewels sewed on with care. Before he knew it, tears began to fall, absorbing into the shimmering coat in his hooves. Despite the smile, he held the bandana close to his face. The stallion flipped the cloth back and forth, closely examining every excruciating detail, every hoof-made design, and every glittering jewel. With every intricate stitch, another memory flowed back into the electric Pex's brain. Not just of the visit either, but it was also memories of another time, back during colthood. It was a memory he had long since forgotten. But now as he stood amid the mud, trash, and rain, the scene was once again clear. Lightning was back at Cloudsdale, with his beloved Rainbow Dash. Akko, are you in here? We've been looking for you. I just won the jet string cup prima. Famos I celebra. Teenage called happily. He was quite joyful about his new electric appearance, which matched a shining lightning bolt on his flank. This competition was the first time he had showed off his new appearance. and was met by unending praise. Of course, the first place trophy probably helped too. He crept in the door to find a filly curled on the bed, quietly attempting to hide her sobs. The Colt's voice immediately changed to a sincere, heartfelt tone as he said, "Arco, are you okay?" The rainbow-made filly wiped her eyes and smiled, sniffed once before saying, "It's okay, Lightning. I need to be alone." "Is it because of me?" "No, it could never be about you. It's just..." The Colt sat next to his younger cousin, whose head began to rest on his broad shoulders. "Dash, please don't be sad. I want to do whatever I can to make you happy. Please, you have to tell me what's wrong." The filly gave a small grin. But he said sadly, "You know, you're probably the best cousin players could ask for. But sometimes, I don't know, every point can be so harsh sometimes." "Did someone hurt you, Uncle?" "'Cause they did." "No, Lightning. Not like that anyway." "Then how did they hurt you?" "Because I'll bug that's stupid or so hard to..." No. It's just that..." The filly paused for a second, not ready for what she was about to say. "Sometimes I feel like people would be better off if I wasn't here. If I ran away." His words stunned the Colt. Worry flushed through his veins. He took his cousin's hoofs in his own and pleaded, "Dash, please don't think about it like that. We need you here. We love you. We care about you. I care about you. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here. You're probably the only reason I came to Clouds in the first place. Please don't go, Dash. It would never be the same if you left." The figure looked out the window, wondering about what to say. Her cousin looked at her, waiting anxiously for a reply. Finally, with her voice barely above a whisper, she said, "Lightning, can you promise me something?" "Anything to you, Arco," he replied lovingly. Promise me that no matter what I do, no matter what happens, you'll always love me for who I am. Promise me you'll always care." The stallion looked into his younger cousin's eyes and said, "Can you promise me something, Prima? That you stay here in flight school with me." After a while, the rainbow packet slowly nodded her head. Stroking his cousin's mane, the Colt said with utmost conviction, "Then I promise too, Prima. And you know, I don't make promises I don't intend to keep." Dash, Arco, why'd I ever let you go?" Lenny thought, shaking his head. He sank back down on the ground, weeping. "You were the only family I've had for what seems like forever. How could I let myself lose you too?" He stared at a pool of water before him. He saw the ragged face of his down on his luck, with mud kicked in his fur, mane soaking from 5 days of rain, eyes drooping from lack of sleep. This is not me." One might call it grim inspiration, and he had to admit it was pretty sad that it took a ragged bandana to make him realize what he had to do. To realize that he couldn't let any pony, including himself, take away everything he loved. Although the pact was made years ago, those words held more power than all of the insults Lightning and Dash had suffered in their lifetime. "You may have broken your promise, Arco, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep mine," he thought. After wiping his face clean of tears and stuffing the glimmering bandana inside his other, after all, he couldn't go around wearing a snag cloth around his neck. Lightning slowly beat his wings. After getting the feel of being in the air once again, he took off towards Ponyville. The world seemed different now. Now it wasn't some prison where every city was a sad reminder of his dark past. Maybe, just maybe, it was something worth fighting for. And if growing up with Rainbow Dash taught the steel color Pakistani thing, it was that if you wanted something, you had to be willing to fight for it. The sign looked towards the horizon, and he couldn't help but smile. The glimmering rain was gone, and in its place stood a dazzling beacon leading him away. It was a rainbow.